Oh! Your controller battery is low! Wonderful! Let's charge. Oh, I don't have the right charger. So. Oh, that look in your eye. So you found yourself a sail, have you? Very well, then I shall teach you the art of sailing. Come next to my hull and press A to climb aboard, hoist your sail with the A button to get moving. The sail will catch the wind, which will push the boat forward. The arrow that appears behind me indicates the wind direction. Use L to steer. If you wish to move quickly, you should keep the wind blowing directly into the sail. You can always press B to put the sail away. Try this when you need to adjust your speed. Did you understand all that? Yes. One more thing. When you are out at the sea with few landmarks to go by, you will be at mercy of the sea charts. I have marked the place we should currently be heading for on your sea chart. If you get lost at sea, select map displayed on the Wii U gamepad to open your sea chart. You can also pause the game with plus and confirm your position. Now, a westerly wind blows. Hop in and let it carry us to the east. Welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Low Battery HD! Last time, I should have charged my Pro Controller battery, because this time, we will be heading out to the sea, but before all that, I made a promise last episode that I'm gonna snap straight over my kneecap. We aren't gonna be talking to every single person here, because there are a few very specific oddities I'd like to go over. And by oddities, I don't mean oddities. They're really, really basic things that I genuinely should have explored earlier, but I just didn't really think about it. So first and foremost, I will be leaving the town and the island this episode, but I haven't finished every side quest possible. I'm gonna pretend like I was in the right area and keep just making that noise. Here, over here. You'll notice that there's a Picto box on that door. Well, if you go in there, show them your Picto box, there's some special stuff you can do at the moment. If you want to do that now, go ahead. But I've decided against it for a few reasons, and I'd like to explain those reasons. First and foremost, pacing. Genuinely, truly, we've been on here for too long. I've been on the same island, exploring the same area for so long that I just want to kind of get a move on. And also, we will be coming back here soon. And when I say soon, I mean soon. So there's really not a massive point to get that done now and come back later and just do one thing and then leave the island again. I feel like it'd be a little bit more fulfilling if I did that when I came back for that smaller side quest, so it'd be like a full episode of Windfall and then we'd be back out on the Seven Seas. By the way, there aren't 7 seas. I actually had a friend watch one of these videos and he was like, there's 7 seas? That's crazy. And I was like, no, it's just figure speech. That's not true at all. Anyway, first area that I want to go into and explore is the potion shop. Hello, hello, hello. You are standing in the one and only Chew Jelly Juice shop. You must have heard. Our potions are the best. I'm telling you, they're too good. In fact, they're absolutely incredible. What's that? What's Chew Jelly, you ask? Looking somewhat bewildered. Oh, sir, you simply must be joking. You don't know what Chew Jelly is. Well, just ask yourself this, good sir. What is a robustly nourishing element? What is a mystical substance that is good for the body and mind? Ask yourself. The words Chew Jelly roar out in answer to these questions, proclaiming themselves to be true. Why, it is the key ingredient in the most effective potions around. All you have to do is bring an empty bottle to my little juice shop here, and I'll let you have a taste. Which begs the question, sir, do you have an empty bottle? Nope, doesn't look like it. I really don't. So we can't do anything in here just yet, but just know it's here. You will be able to get potions from this shop. I never used them because Wind Waker is really easy, but if you need potions, they're always here. I will be checking this periodically, seeing what potions there are, just so I can show their effects, but I'm really not going to need them ever. And the one other area I truly want to go into is right up here. You might have noticed it. It's a little cafe. Cute little cafe. It has a really nice, roomy atmosphere. It's kind of small, which is actually pretty cozy. Pretty cozy. And then there's this girl. Welcome. Oh my, you're a very small customer, aren't you? Well, that's fine, of course. You just feel free to look around. That's the plan. And then this dude. Lately, I've been hearing that monsters from the Forsaken Fortress have been going around kidnapping girls with long ears. I can believe it. After all, 2 girls from Windfall have already been kidnapped. Poor Maggie and Milla. It just breaks my heart to think about those 2. Milla? I think it's Mila. It's definitely Mila. I feel like I've been saying Milla. It's definitely Mila. Both of their fathers are desperate to find anyone who can rescue their poor little girls. What kind of world has this become? So much fear and suffering. So that's really it. I kind of just wanted to come in here because it's an area we hadn't been to, and it's just nice and cozy. It's really cozy. I like it a lot. It's a very nice aesthetic, and kind of wish it was used for more. It's used for a few things. I'm not going to act like it's never used, because then why would it be there? But it certainly isn't used frequently. I couldn't care less. I'm trying to get on my way. Jerk! Yeah, probably not the best response. I'm really sorry about that. I don't have time, though, because there's a place I need to go. And that place is out into the seas. Let's actually listen to what the King of Red Lions said. I read through that pretty quickly, so I'll do a better explanation. You'll notice that there is a massive arrow right behind us that will show where the wind is blowing, and as long as you are facing in the direction of that arrow, then you're going to go as fast as you can. Ooh, this is sailing. You're going to be doing this a lot because the Great Sea is the overworld. You'll be going from point A to point B, sailing as fast as you possibly can. And this is about time I start talking about some of the negative things about Wind Waker. Some of the major negative things. Earlier we talked about the Forsaken Fortress and how I'm not a massive fan of that. And, that's negative in and of itself. But that was a very minor negative. That was something that doesn't matter all that much. This does. This matters quite a lot. This beginning sailing section is quite deceitful. Because there's quite a lot to do on it. You'll always be occupied on this very beginning sailing section. But guess what? From this point onward, that is absolutely not going to be the case. A lot of the seas are very open, wide, and, to be perfectly blatant, empty. As much as I love Wind Waker, I feel the overworld is one of the worst parts of it. And I feel the Great Sea, while being beautiful and calming, is really not all that great. A lot of the time when I played through this, especially on my first playthrough, I would pull out my phone and look at social media and things of the like when I'm sailing, just because it's so boring and there's nothing to do. There's enemies from time to time, there's things like this from time to time, but it never held my interest for long because there just wasn't enough to hold my interest for long. But again, we're not going to have this problem for the first sailing session because there's quite a lot for us to do. As you just saw, there's a little floaty boat out there that had a bokoblin on it. I took care of that, got some rupees for my troubles. There are these things, which are just little towers you can climb up, and there will also be bokoblins in them. Just people staring out, looking at the seas with their telescopes. And you can just stab them in the back, kill them. Oh! That's better. Go down. But yeah. No, this stuff is pretty cool. There is some... I didn't know they could do that. I did not know that they could grab onto the edge and you could just stab them off. That's pretty incredible. But yeah, this small minor stuff that you can do allows you to get rupees and just occupy your time a little bit. And that's nice, but there's not enough of it. There really isn't. Talking about some more of the positive things, the Great Sea theme is wonderful. I really enjoy it. It's a nice calming track. I might have to add it to a study music playlist because I have one of those. And it's really just that good. It's really, really nice. I'll let you listen to it in a minute, but first I do want to talk about the reason I'm playing with the Pro Controller. You might have noticed, and I've told you before, I really don't love playing with the Pro Controller because of gyroscope controls, and really you're not going to have to see these bottom screens that I'm seeing, as much as I am. They're really not all that important for the most part. But one of the main important things I want to show off is, first of all, there's this little bottle section. This isn't important anymore. This was part of the Miiverse fiasco. that is now shut down. No more Miiverse. I love the little tingles you can see right there. That's beautiful. But yeah, this is no longer used. There's no longer a purpose for this. And I haven't found any tingle bottles. I won't be finding any throughout this entire adventure. It's just not happening. But this is the most important thing. This is your map. One of the other reasons I love playing with the gamepad is because, oh my god, Zelda was meant for 2 screens. Absolutely. You can see this map at all times on the gamepad screen. All times. Instead of having to continue moving and pausing to check your position on the map all the time, you can simply look down at the bottom screen while you're moving, continue to move, and figure out where you're going, figure out if you're heading the wrong way, and quickly correct it. This is wonderful. So you can access so many useful things here. You can see that the Great Sea is pretty dang big, because we've only been to, 3 areas on the Great Sea, and already we've been doing a lot of different things, having a lot of fun, in my opinion. I've been having a lot of fun. And there's just a lot more for us to do. We're heading here, but I do want to show off, before we begin to head off, the treasure charts. If you click on those, it'll show you a little area with an X that marks the spot, and you just have to find out what chart area this corresponds to, or what block on the chart this corresponds to, and we haven't talked about this mechanic yet, but you will be able to dig things out from underneath the sea. We'll be getting to it soon enough, so it's really not a big deal. But it's just finding sunken treasure, and that's a lot of fun. Tingle's chart is a special chart. There are a few of these where it opens up an entirely new chart of the Great Sea and shows you miscellaneous things. There's a thing with Tingle on it, a little sun around it. That means it's got to be important. Windfall Island is right behind us, and there are 2 fairies on that this screen, so we'll check that out later. But for now, let's get a move on. I've been talking for long enough. I don't really want to deal with that bokoblin. I don't think there's enough of a reason to make me do so. But rupees are important. Kind of feeling it. Also, look at the seagulls. I've talked about atmosphere before, and one thing I do love about Wind Waker is, again, the atmosphere. There's so much nice stuff going on here. The seagulls are such a nice touch. They fly alongside your boat sometimes. It's wonderful. I absolutely adore it. And if I do have to say one nice thing about the Great Sea, other than the music, it's the atmosphere. The whole thing is just wonderful. Depending on the area you're in, the Great Sea's atmosphere will change. It's great. As much as the Great Sea is not my favorite thing in the world, it still has its own positives. I feel I've made a bit of a mistake, because I'm heading very close to this island, but there is another island that I was supposed to go to, and that I missed. So I will get back to that eventually. But there's another island and another piece of heart I can collect, and I guess I just didn't. That's never happened before. I guess I got sidetracked. There on the horizon. That is our destination, Link. Dragon Roost Island. High atop this island's peak lives the spirit of the skies, a great dragon by the name of Valoo. You must go see this dragon and request from him a jewel called Din's Pearl. Ask the people of the Rito tribe who inhabit this island about how to see the dragon. Oh, I almost forgot. Wait just a moment. This is the Wind Waker. It is a baton of sorts that was used long ago when the people played music and prayer to the gods. In those days, simply using it allowed one to borrow the power of the gods, but I do not know if it still works. Even so, I thought it might be of some use to you. Perhaps you should try using it. First, conduct 3/4 time. Do not touch L. Just try to match the rhythm by tilting R up, down, and right. This is our musical instrument. Well, musical instrument in quotes. Very nice. That was splendid. Next is 4/4 time. Hold L to the right. Okay. So pretty much with the Wind Waker, You can conduct different length melodies. It's not just like the ocarina where normally you just enter as many notes as you want, and if it correlates to a song, it's going to play, or any other musical instrument for that matter. You actually do have to just select how long the song will be, and the way you input what the song is going to be is just by pressing up, down, left, or right. So it's really not all that crazy. It's definitely good, and I'm sure you can tell what it's going to be used for, since wind is important for sailing, and it's called the Wind Waker. Ooh, so spooky. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting, pretty neat little instrument. It's again, isn't really an instrument, but it works. It's Zelda enough. I like it. I'm down with it. And also, something interesting to note about the GameCube version and the Wind Waker, the Wii U version. I always say the Wind Waker HD version, which is the worst way of wording that possible. They do a lot of things in this version to make it a lot easier for people to pick up and play. The Wind Waker used to be an item kind of like the ocarina in Ocarina of Time, but now it is set to the D-pad, so I can pull it out whenever I want and still have my Picto Box or my telescope equipped at all times. So that's great. You no longer have to equip it, and as someone who played this version first and played the GameCube version later, God, that sucks going back to it. Really, it does. Up. Oh, okay, thank you. That's very useful. We can't do anything with that just yet. But these are bomb flowers. I've kind of been using them without actually explaining them. But they're really not all that special if you've played, let's say, Ocarina of Time. I'm drawing a lot of Ocarina of Time parallels today, but that's just how it is, I guess. So, that sucked. Essentially, bomb flowers are flowers that grow bombs. You pick them up, and then you throw them. This can make for some pretty fun puzzles, because essentially you just have to make sure that you are taking the path of least resistance when it comes to getting to an object that you need to blow up from the bomb flower, because obviously you can't just pick up the flower and take it and grow bombs in your pocket. So bomb flowers are useful, but they're useful in very specific circumstances, and they can create some pretty interesting puzzles. So there were just a bunch of rocks in our way. We just used the bomb flowers to, well, take them out of our way. How people use this area, I really don't know. I guess it's the area where the Rito, they thrive, and, you know, the Rito do, in fact, fly, so they really don't need to worry about doing all this stuff that Link's doing right now, so I guess I can't be too mad about it. But it's just very odd. Link. Link, is that you? It is. I'm pleased to see you're okay. I must say, you've traveled far for one with no wings. And your sister, is she... Is that so? Well, don't worry too much. I'm sure she'll hang in there. I have an idea, Link. Would you like to meet our chieftain? I've told my people here about you, and all of us Rito are very concerned. I'm certain the chieftain will befriend you and lend you the aid of our heir. It's settled then. I'll fly on ahead and let everyone know you're coming. Come inside, Link. I'll be waiting. One of these days I'll learn to read. Is that today? Is that tomorrow? The world may never know. Anyway, next time on Let's Play The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD, we're gonna see what the chieftain has to say. But again, that's for next time. Until then.